Hello, everyone. My name is Zen, and I will be your DM for today, and also playing Kay, also known as Chaos, the little rubber hose robot. Players, if you want to introduce yourselves.
Hello, I am Frosty. Today I play 4-foot tall plush monkey Chichi.
Hi, I am Ghosty Goo, and I am playing the slightly small possum in platform boots named Nicky.
All right, and we love them. As set up for this game, it has been a little while since the events of Source KO'd. How long? Don't ask me. I don't know how time works. But it has been a length of time during which, Kay has been traveling with the Cirque du Something, which is, traveling again. Now that they have a whole 4 employees plus Kay, they're once again traveling around Gisnep, performing shows, trying to avoid the towns where Kay's inventions have, wreaked havoc, just in case they might get a bad reaction when people find out, who Kay is, but, on the whole, doing pretty well. And Kay has also been doing pretty well, traveling with the circus, getting used to the world at large. Which leads us to today's outing, which kind of spearheaded a little by Nicky, I think. But while Mango has to work because despite working for the circus, that's still a job that requires you to show up and do work. So Mango was not able to get the day off. But Chichi and Nicky are going to be bringing Kay out into town for the first time.
So I'm not sure if Nicky has let Chi-Chi in on what she's probably going to be teaching Kay on this outing, but she's sort of got a duffel bag filled with spray paint cans.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy indeed. So let's say it's sort of like late morning, starting to get into afternoon, and you guys show up at the circus grounds to pick Kay up and take her into town. So, gosh, I don't know. Do you guys want to describe how you got to the circus? Or apparently Nicky's carrying a duffel bag. If you want to try and figure out what's in that, Chi-Chi. It has been a while since I ran a game. My DM brain cell has apparently died.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I think that Nicky probably had like a sudden realization that Kay is probably getting to that point where she's going to want to rebel a little bit because she's. I mean, What pronouns does Kay use again?
She or they, I think.
Okay. So she's probably getting to that point in her life where she's going to want to rebel no matter what kind of situation she's in. So Nicky wants to teach her how to rebel in a safe and less destructive way than the last time she did. She probably called Mango up to figure out where the circus was going to be meeting up next, and sort of also contacted Chi-Chi and gave her the details. But I think that Nicky being Nicky probably didn't give clear enough details on what was actually going to be going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds about right. I think. Now here's the thing. Would Nikki have said for Mango to tell Kay about this, or is it a surprise for her?
I think it's kind of a surprise. She probably also was really vague on the details with Mango because she knows Mango probably wouldn't approve of what they might end up doing. She kind of clocked Chi-Chi as being a little bit more on the chaotic end of things and would think that Chi-Chi might be okay with it.
Chi-Chi passed the vibe check.
Yeah.
I mean, Chichi hasn't been terribly subtle about their part-time rogue and part-time thief.
Hell yeah. They're
Admittedly, a lot of Chi-Chi's criminal advice is and don't end up getting a warrant that lasts 12 months. That leaves you running out of town to a different sub-country. At least that's expiring soon, and Rick's actually going to be able to visit home.
Oh boy. Yeah. So I think when you guys show up at the fairgrounds, field that the circus tent is set up in would probably be more accurate there, because yeah, they're still not back up to the standards of operation that they had the first time you visited. It's just the circus tent right now. But yeah, when you arrive, you do not immediately see Kay, so you can assume she is inside the circus tent. So I guess, are you gonna go look for her?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You head into the circus tent. There's still, you know, all the circus employees are setting up for the day's shows, which are starting soon-ish. You know, start the shows in the afternoon. I forget that morning people exist. They might have they're not having a morning show, because who the fuck goes to the circus before noon, honestly? I feel like...
I mean, if you've gone to the circus, they usually have a midday show, but not a morning show.
Yeah, that's my thought. So they're setting up for the midday show. And you see Kay, like, carrying some boxes over to the stage. I don't know, let's all roll perception and see who sees who first. I've got the wrong character sheet pulled up.
Yep.
Okay. 4 from Chi-Chi, 13 from Kay, and a 5 from Nikki. I guess whoever this says, it's been a little while since you two have maybe visited the circus. You're caught up by the hustle and bustle. So Kay, who's a bit more used to it, is the first one to spot the two of you. And drops the box she's carrying, which thankfully isn't anything fragile. And starts running over to where you guys have just entered the tent. And now I have to remember how I did Kay's voice. And she's calling out,
Stilted robotic.
Yeah. Chichi, Nikki, I wasn't expecting to see you today. Hi.
Oh, hey, Kay! Chichi has now stopped being distracted by all the climbable things because monkey brain. You want to climb, but no, wait, yeah, jump.
Extremely
see you, Kay.
climbable. It's good.
I think part of the reason Nikki was having a hard time picking Kay out of the crowd is probably because like a single spray paint can is like rolling out of the duffel bag and across the floor, and she's like trying to catch it.
I kind of want to make Chi-Chi roll perception on that too to see if she notices.
Can Chi-Chi see anything today? Oh,
yes!
Yes!
Wait, no,
Yes,
the
Chi-Chi.
D. The D. You forgot the D.
Huh?
You forgot the D
Oh.
in the command.
Typos.
Alas.
Maybe?
So it's a much more reasonable 12. I think you at the very least notice that Nikki has stooped down to pick something up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can tell that it's a spray paint can, but yep, you notice Nikki picking something up, and then Kay is there. Yeah, and now we're back to the present. Okay, I've lost track of the conversation that they were in the middle of. Okay, so I think Kay is like, it's good to see you too. Are you here to see the show? It doesn't start for another hour, I think.
We're not here for the show, sweetheart. We're here to take you on the town.
Yeah, we were going out to do a fun day and decided for you to get a bit of a look around town too, since I know you spent a lot of time here.
I think Kay's eye goes a little bit wider at that, and she's like, you want me to come with you? Is that okay with Cal?
We hadn't gotten around to asking him yet because we were coming here to do most of the bits, but yeah. It probably won't be an issue.
Yeah, I think at that moment Cal is conveniently also walking by, and notices the box that Kay dropped and comes over, like looks down, sees the box that Kay dropped, looks up, sees Kay, and then is coming over to talk to all three of you, and he's like, Nikki, Chi-Chi, great to have you visiting us. Can I ask what the occasion is?
Oh yeah, we were just wondering if you wouldn't mind if we borrowed Kay for the day for an outing, because it'll be fun.
Oh, well, certainly. That sounds like a fine idea to me. We should be a good distance away from, well, any place that might recognize her in a not so flattering light. So, sure. Yeah, the three of you should go out and have some fun. Wait it. And then he, like, pats at his pockets, and pulls out, okay, that's not a fumble. He pulls out a little bag with some coins in it, and hands it to Kay and is like, just in case you see anything that catches your eye. Here, you're not technically working here, but you can consider this a paycheck if you want. Just yeah, take this and have a fun day. So yeah, you have Cal's permission. Kay has some money for the day from Cal, and Cal is off back into the bustle of setting up for the show. And you're free to head into town.
We go into town because she's a possum and she can't overcome her possum instincts. Nikki is, of course, going to dig through the garbage.
Wait, so I'm not sure if I misread at the beginning there. This is like you get into town and the first thing Nikki is doing is dumpster diving? Or?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I won't say it's not in character for her. Roll investigation, unless Chi-Chi wants to try and stop Nikki. Kay is not going to because she doesn't know what's going on.
What would Chi-Chi roll for that?
I mean, you could try to grapple her, or you could try to roll persuasion.
I got even odds on that. Chi-Chi will attempt for persuasion first because no, Nikki, we're trying to put a good example for the kid. Don't.
Real estate.
Yeah, that's a 9. So I think go see if you want to roll against that for Nikki. But I think by default that's probably not gonna make it. But let's see. That would be wisdom, I think, to roll against it. Oh yeah, that beats it.
If they didn't want someone going through their garbage, they would put a lock on it.
Nikki, we were doing things with Kay today, and I don't want Kay to pick up the habit of dumpster diving.
It's free.
Okay, Kay, just for the record, you see what Nikki is doing now. Please don't do that. There's usually just gross things that are hard to clean off and not worth the digging.
Kay like nods, but she looks kind of confused. I think she's like, what is dumpster diving?
It's a glorious art form.
That is a dumpster. It holds trash and other debris people are throwing away. And the diving part is what Nikki is doing right now, is searching through there for goodies. There are not many goodies in there.
Well, on the contrary, if that d20 goes to the d20 plus nothing you rolled earlier, was that your investigation for what was in the trash can?
Yes.
Well, it was a nat 20, so you find whatever the fuck you want.
I'm going to say a full intact writing desk.
Oh my god, what are you gonna do with that?
And I mean, if that Chi-Chi's gonna pause, it's like, and some people just throw away large things that are worth more than their garbage value. It's not even an ugly desk. Why would someone throw that out?
I think Nikki's probably just going to like quietly shove it into her hammer space.
Now, I do want to say, wait, are you shoving it directly from the dumpster into your hammer space?
Yeah, just for the visual pun, I think.
I kind of want to make you roll a strength check to see if you can lift it enough to get
Would
it in
that
your
be
hammer
strength
space.
or dexterity?
Well, my assumption is it's a desk, so it weighs a lot. Like, the size is... Is it?
I mean,
like, the size limit for
unless it's
hammer
a
space
whole
is 3
wooden
cubic
fancy
feet.
writing desk, that does get
Yeah.
a bit heavy, but not quite that heavy so much as the how are you angling that into your hammer space?
Yeah. Either
Not
one.
Sure.
7.
Well,
I don't think you're having much luck, Nikki. You've found this thing, but you have no idea what you're gonna do with it.
I think Nikki is probably going to attempt to convince Chi-Chi to help them hide it somewhere.
Nikki, Chi-Chi is not a dumpster diver. Chi-Chi is not good for this.
It's fine. It's fine.
There is another person there you can also attempt to convince. If you want to try and convince Kay to hop into the dumpster with you and drag this desk out.
So Nikki turns to Kay and looks almost just like a little guilty. He's like, "Okay, this is what we call recycling. This is something that somebody would have happily have let go to the dump and rot. Can you help me put it somewhere to where someone who needs it might find it?"
And roll a persuasion.
Nikki. Nikki, no. It's like, I'm not objectional to just setting it on the curb, but I don't know. Well, that's surprisingly low rolled.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, why? Nikki, why?
Nikki's persuasion was 14. Kay's wisdom save against it was 13. So she like stands there thinking for a moment, and then she like grabs the edge of the dumpster and starts climbing up into it.
She is just going to look on with a look of disapproval because Nikki, why? I know you don't smell. Just hate smelling like a dumpster, but that's. Did we bring any any fabric freshener on us? Because I think I used my last pile.
So I'm going to roll a d20 real quick. Below 10, Nikki has not brought air freshener or wet wipes of any kind. Above 10, she has.
You could do a D2 as well. Oh, she has brought it. Nikki came prepared.
She was not expecting for there to be garbage collection today.
Nikki always expects
that, but they did think that for a moment.
Nikki always expects for there to be garbage. She was born of the garbage, molded by it.
Molded may take two versions imaginably. And Chi-Chi is very much a fabric creature, so they are much more picky about this because mold on my stuffing? How dare you? I do not want to have to replace all my stuffing for this.
Question, are you saying that out loud?
Depends. Did Nikki say that out loud?
Maybe, yes.
Yes, then Chi-Chi probably said that out loud because absolutely not.
So Nikki like pauses and digging around in the trash and like looks thoughtful, like she hadn't thought about that. She's like she's rethinking her entire life.
And Chichi will be a bit confused because you're a possum. This is admittedly not much of a difference to you, but absolutely not to me.
I mean, Nikki is a horrible trash gremlin, but she doesn't want to risk hurting someone.
It actually wouldn't hurt Chi-Chi that much. It'd just be a major annoyance because getting rid of mold on fabric is
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of a nightmare. No, it's more Chi-Chi's just being a bit dramatic because, oh my god, the clean hygiene levels I have to keep afterwards. Ugh.
I think,
So
well,
I think after we get the desk out,
yeah, I'm just gonna
think
have,
that- I think Nikki's going to avoid dumpsters for the rest of this adventure. Sorry.
oh, that's very sweet of her. I'm gonna roll strength for Kay to help get the desk out of the dumpster. Oh my god, 11. Baby, that's the stat you're supposed to be very good at. Yeah, Kay is. I think Kay hearing after hearing Chi-Chi's hesitation, Kay has just stopped at the top of the dumpster instead of getting in alongside Nikki and was trying to grab the desk from the top. And it is not going great. If Nikki wants to roll strength as well to try and support it from the bottom. 19! Oh. Hell yeah. Nikki summons
Awesome
strength.
power.
Nikki summons all her strength and helps shove this desk up and out of the dumpster, with Kay more supporting it. And they get the desk out of the dumpster.
Congratulations! You have moved the desk. But I don't know why someone was throwing away an entire wood desk, but oh well.
Do you want to roll investigation on the desk to see if you can figure out why it was being thrown away?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Chi-Chi cannot figure out because that's full furniture. I don't get it, but oh well.
Mm-hmm. Chi-Chi, I think also you're like keeping your distance from this thing because it was in the dumpster. Nikki, you were like up close and personal with it, lifting it and trying to shove it in your hammer space. So with an 18, you can see that like most of the desk is fine, but there's like crayon scribbles all up and down one of the legs, maybe. And maybe some bite marks from a small animal. So the desk has been well used. It's technically still intact, but
yeah, Nikki's just going to hug it and be like, "It's perfect."
And if you want to try and shove it into your hammer space again, now that it's out of the dumpster, I'll say like you have a better angle, you can try again. 13. Is that what you rolled before? I feel like that might be what you rolled before. How does the help?
13 was what was my persuasion. I think I had like a 5 or a 7.
Mm-hmm. I'll say take advantage on it because Kay is helping you lift it. Okay, 14. I'm just gonna say that's good enough, and they get the desk into Nikki's hammer space. Congratulations, it's free desk.
Hoorah!
Yeah. Hooray.
I think Kay's like, is this what going into town is like?
If you're Nicky, yes?
Read.
Wait, what?
Can you repeat that, Ghosty?
Sorry. I am a rare breed. Wait, did you guys hear that? Or is my
Yeah.
microphone being weird?
Yes, we heard it the second time.
Yeah. It's like, yes, and admittedly, I'm kind of glad I don't share the same personalities. I mean, it's perfectly fun to wipe clean the pockets of some rich jerk, but I'll leave their trash cans alone.
Trash comes from.
You might have cut out there because I heard trash comes from and then nothing else.
Oh, Nikki said, "Oh, but that trash comes from."
Hello. All the best trash comes from.
They throw out all the good shit. I'm going to switch over to my phone's microphone real quick because I think the microphone on these headphones is not great.
All right.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes. Can definitely hear you.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, it's like, I know the rich people throw out the best and most salvageable things, but they also throw out a lot of waste food that, admittedly, I've never had any luck not getting there after it's already very infested by bugs. So just no. I have limits.
Valid.
Now, the thing we are actually going into town for, because I know you mentioned probably some actually large place to visit.
Yeah. So you guys are outside. I did not bother building a whole town and making a map and giving it a proper name, but it is a fairly large town on par with Cameo, maybe a little bigger. Does not have a cool district system.
It's just probably town.
Could you repeat that, Frosty?
Yeah, so it's just a sprawly little town.
Exactly. Well,
It's
not
Townsburg.
so.
I don't think it's Townsburg.
It's some perfectly generic, fairly large town where you could find pretty much most things you might want to show to. Most things that you might want to do on an outing with a child question mark?
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, if there's anything you want to do in town, it's there for you to do. And if no one has any ideas of things they would like to do, I do have some prompts, I guess.
Sure, because best my brain could think of for Gigi to suggest at the moment is maybe stopping by an arts and crafts store for anything if Kay wants to pick some stuff up from there.
Which is also a valid option. Ghosty, did you want to do graffiti things? Or do you want to wait until they've...
I think probably Nikki is going, before the crime, of course, Nikki is probably going to suggest going to the local park and maybe feeding the ducks and or fish.
Hell yeah.
That is actually a very nice option.
That is an excellent option. Okay. So, I think, the park is on the opposite side of town from where you guys, entered. So you'll have to walk through, all the streets to get there anyway. So it might be a good idea to keep an eye out for things you want to do on your way through town as you head through towards the park. And you will go down a street with a number of shops. There is an arts and crafts store, some other stores like a clothing store, a candy store, etc. All kinds of stores. So if you wanted to duck in and look at an arts and crafts store or any other store, I'm saying the word store too many times. Yeah, basically, like, yeah, you gotta walk through town to get to the park. Kay is following behind the two of you, sort of looking around, but you are taking the lead in this situation. Kay's not really wandering off or trying to do things on her own, so. If you want to walk through town and go to the park first and then come back and do stuff, you can do that. But I will say you will pass the stores and shops and like other buildings before you reach the park.
So I think that as we're going past the shops, Nikki is going to very quietly mention to Kay, hey, if you need to steal something, try to avoid taking from like the craft store that's owned by the little lady and maybe more from the really high-end expensive clothing store that is owned by McDuck Enterprises.
I'm going to see if Chichi can actually overhear this. That'd be
Please.
perception.
Yes.
Oh boy. Ah.
6. Nope, I think Chichi is maybe too busy looking for a specific kind of store to see if the craft store is any good from the outside or something. And Kay is just like silently nodding along to what Nikki is trying to tell her. You can roll insight on that, Nikki, if you want. 12. Yeah, she has no idea why you're telling her this. And
She's
she does
just trying a child how to properly steal things without affecting the working class.
Kay is listening, but is also not sure how to apply this logic to any stores other than those specifically mentioned yet.
Yeah.
And Nikki's gonna think for a minute. It's like, not that I'm saying you should like steal things, of course. Just theoretically.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think of what Kay would do in response. I think she's just nodding and still not really like. She's just getting progressively more confused about what Nikki's trying to tell her.
I'm gonna imagine by this point Chichi has spotted the craft store they actually would love to go to, which inevitably is going to involve mostly fabrics. Because fabric.
Hell yeah. Nothing better than a good. Well, it's probably in that case like a quilting and knitting store that's focused on fabric and yarn that you wind up that winds up catching your eye.
Yeah, probably.
So, do you want to go in?
Yes. Because I actually know what Chi-Chi would be looking for here.
All right. Yeah, you go into this store. It's kind of split in half, where like one half of the store is all like fabrics, big. I don't know the word for it. You know those big cardboard things that they keep fabric on that you cut it off of in lengths, and pre-cut squares and ribbons and stuff. And the other half of the store is like yarn and thread.
I actually cannot remember where the heck those cardboard things actually fall off the top of my head now that I'm actually thinking at it.
Yeah, it's like you see them, but you don't know the.
My brain wants to say it's a spool, but that's what you use for yarn, and I don't know if it's the same for fabric.
No, I don't think so.
I think it.
Oh well, I don't think the specific word is too important.
No, it is actually a spool.
Never would have guessed. Huh. Spools come in all shapes and sizes, I guess. So yeah, you walk in. A little bell over the door jingles as Chi-Chi pushes in, and then Nikki and Kay follow after. There's a little checkout counter off to the side with like a Hausen ragdoll tune behind it who is reading through a knitting magazine.
Chi-Chi will actually turn to Kay, and this is the fabric craft store, which I'm not going to push you to learn fabric crafts, but I will tell you, it is such a budget saver. Not time saver, but at least you get to decide what the things are made of. And Chi-Chi is immediately going to wander off to the fake fur fabrics. Because, fluffy.
I think like Kay watches Chi-Chi talk and like nods along in much the same way she was nodding along to Nikki explaining theft. And then as Chi-Chi wanders off, Kay turns to Nikki and is like, how are fabric crafts a budget saver?
Yes. It depends on what you're going to be buying. Sometimes it's easier to make it yourself. Sometimes getting it from another store is a little cheaper. However, buying from here a little bit gives more money to the right people than buying from, for instance, the clothing store down the street.
You really dislike that clothing store, don't you?
Not that clothing store in particular, but the person who owns it. Like all the clothing stores. I have a thorn in my side for, let's say, corporations.
I think he's like, wait, one person owns all the clothing stores?
Clothing stores. All the clothing stores with that particular name.
I see. And Kay nods and is now deep in thought.
Here's a small question. Does Kay actually understand, or just the continued nodding along of the right, don't know what that means, but oh well.
I think she's trying to figure out how she feels about it. She doesn't know how many clothing stores have that name, but she's not a fan that someone has claimed that name and no one else can own a clothing store with that name, as far as she can tell.
I don't want to try and explain copyright to a kid. Yeah, but Chi-Chi's mostly just going to grab like 4 yards of the fancy fabric, of a fabric or two, and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and that's the stuff I want. And okay, do you want me to get you a specific fabric for an outfit? Because I can sew it.
I think Kay stares at you for a second, and then she's like, points to herself, like, for me?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I've never had an outfit before.
I'm. I could have sworn I had at the end of the last game. She was making a sweater or something for Kay, and I forgot it was an actual thing I was doing.
Oh no.
No, Chi-Chi is going to make an outfit for Kay. It's just Chi-Chi needs input from Kay of what they want for an outfit. Chi-Chi was getting out fabrics for a thing they also want to do for themselves, though.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think with that,
Okay.
yeah, I think now Kay actually starts looking at the fabric for the first time, because she was up front busy thinking about copyright law and franchisation. So now she's actually looking at what's in the store for the first time. And holy shit. I'm gonna roll investigation for her. Her modifier in this is ridiculously high, so yeah. Modified 23. I think like Kay like looks around for a while and then pulls out some fabric that looks like you know bowling alley carpet with like multicolored spirals.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know that one. I mean, I've seen a rainbow paint splatter version of it that didn't do the paint splatters justice enough.
Can anything do paint splatters justice enough? Yeah, Kay pulls that off of the shelf and like holds it up for you to look at.
Interesting and colorful choice. Yeah. Definitely can pick up a few yards of that. And actually, which type of outfit would you like it for? Because that changes fabric amount and styling.
I think Kay has to like stop and think about it for a minute because like this girl's never had clothes. Do you think she knows what clothes she likes? And then she's like, maybe dress?
I can do that. That'll actually be pretty easy.
Yeah. Kay perks up at that, and she like very excitedly carries the fabric she picked out over towards the cutting counter / register. They're in the same place now. I can't be bothered to put them 2 different places. So
I mean, in small stores, they usually are the same exact spot.
hell yeah. It's realism. It's not me being lazy. It's realism.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get your fabric cut to the appropriate amounts and pay a reasonable price for it, which is like 2 or 3 golds. I don't know. It won't come out of your adventuring money anyway, so.
Yeah, but Chichi also did get fabric and call it 3 yards of one of them and a yard of the second. All I know is one's a fluffy orange fabric, and one is a cream.
You're making me go eyes emoji. What is she do? What are they doing with that?
Huh?
The description, you're making me go like eyes emoji. What are they doing with that? But it doesn't have to be explained here. I'm just, as a player, curious. Kay doesn't really know and isn't thinking on it too hard. She's excited about her fabric.
Yeah. But hey. Fun. This means I now have to draw Kay in the dress.
You assume I'm not going to also draw Kay in the dress?
I get to have to draw Kay. Or, no, wait, I did start a project with drawing Kay, and then I brickballed out a background. Being complicated.
Now I'm very eyes emoji. But okay, how is Nikki doing?
Nikki's doing very well. She's kind of looking around to see if there is any fabric dye that they are selling here, or even better, like a patina stain.
Roll an investigation, or try to talk to the clerk, I guess. Because you do not, there's not any that's like 100% immediately visible. So 13. I think you find fabric dye, but not the patina stuff.
So I think Nikki is going to quietly go, like, grab a couple of different colors and go up to the counter and purchase them.
All right, you do that. Nikki now has fabric dye. I'm almost scared to ask what she intends to do with it.
It's completely innocent, trust me.
Last time you bought something in one of my games, you immediately ate it. You actually ate it before you paid for the chalk, but okay, we'll see about that. I've got my eyes on you. I don't fully believe that this is innocent, but You know, the cashier doesn't give a shit. You buy this fabric dye. And now Nikki has it. What colors do you want?
Probably like orange, maybe a green, a purple, and a blue. Nikki really just sort of wants a variety.
I see. Alright. Yeah, I will say you guys all check out. Chi-Chi is has got all the fabric. Nikki has her fabric dye. You can leave the store unless there's anything else you want to do here.
There wasn't anything else Chi-Chi was going to buy from there.
There. Yeah, so the little bell over the door dings and you guys head back out to the street outside. Do people with purchases want to stash those in their hammer space, or are they carrying those for the rest of the...
Nikki is probably going to put her purchases into her duffel bag.
Chi-Chi will put her fabric purchases in her hammer space, but may carry around Kay's if Kay... Wait, does Kay have a hammer space?
Yeah, she's a toon. She has a hammer space. The only reason I had Chi-Chi carrying it is because she was gonna make the dress with it.
Yeah, Chi-Chi can hang on to it. It's just unless Kay wants to put it in her hammer space.
Kay probably does, actually.
Yeah, then Kay can carry it in her hammer space.
Yeah, Kay quite eagerly takes the fabric and stuffs it behind her back. She doesn't have a very creative hammer space location yet. Yeah, so do you guys want to continue walking toward the park then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You sort of pass out of the shop section of town, and into more of a public works services building. You pass some restaurants, a cat cafe, and then out on the outskirts of town, there's like a schoolhouse, a library, and then there is the park, which has a little pond with some benches nearby for people that watch the ducks.
So before Kay goes over there, Nikki is going to use her one speak up with animals for today, and she's going to go up to the ducks and it's like, "Better be nice to this robot, or I'm going to eat you."
Roll intimidation. Oh boy, yeah, 14. That's good enough. These are ducks. They're easily cowed enough that like the ducks nearest you like start nodding very frantically, and they're like, "Yes, of course. Yes, sure thing." Quack.
So yeah, I think Nikki's going to try and pull from her hammer space like a giant baguette.
She does, in fact, pull out the baguette.
She's gonna break it into 3 pieces so everybody's got like a third of the baguette to feed to the ducks.
Chichi will have, for some reason, been half expecting Nikki to pull out a bag of peas.
Yeah, I think Kay takes the baguette and looks at it and looks at Nikki like, what do I do with this?
I think that Nikki's also going to roll to see if she can pull out like some grapes or peas.
Hell yeah. You sure can.
So what she's going to do is she's going to very carefully show Kay how to feed the ducks without scaring them. Of course, the ducks are already very afraid, but in a way that they're not going to get aggressive because Nikki has lived at a park for a very long time. She knows that there are a couple of very mean ducks at every park. There's at least one king duck.
Aren't those called geese? But
There's one evil goose. Honestly, she might even be explaining to Kay that like there's at least one goose hiding among the ducks. Avoid the goose at all costs.
Kay is nodding along. Do you want to roll animal handling at advantage to see how good of a job you're doing at demonstrating this?
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me check to see what my...
You can roll that at advantage because the ducks, they are trying to get along with you because you have terrified them so. Oh my, it got worse.
I think you may have just hit the ducks in the face with the bread.
I think maybe too the ducks are trying too hard.
The duck is just gonna kind of laugh at this. It's like,
do you want to help out?
You're the one who lives in the park. I mean, yeah, Chichi can do a attempted roll at animal handling. Chichi, please don't roll this. You live with a bird.
14. It's better than what Nikki got. So it's definitely...
Is 14 passable though?
I'd say so. You are now successfully feeding the ducks some bread and peas.
Yeah, I mean, Chichi's just going to immediately go for the peas because these are ducks. Ducks get peas. If we find some pigeons, we can give them some of the bread.
Hell yeah. Don't throw bread into ponds, guys. It is a bad idea all around.
Chichi lives with a Muppet-born bird. So Chichi is very much more aware of this, but ain't gonna be making a mess. It's just like, and ducks get peas because the pigeons are much better suited for the breadcrumbs.
Mm-hmm. If the pigeons filled... If the pigeons filled...
The bird gets weird at times.
To be fair, I think most of the birds at my park are afraid of me now.
I mean, I did meet that one little crow you sent along, and how are they doing anyways?
They're doing fine. The crow's kind of trying to start a coup, I think. They're a lot smarter than I thought they were.
Of course, crows are that. Nikki, have you actually tried chatting with them before?
No, I didn't really have a reason to.
Oh, okay. I can understand how this is very different. My roommate is a crow Muppet born. He
Oh,
just
that's awful.
chats with them normally, so I'm on good terms with them. I try to stay on good terms with them because they're his usual spy network. And they are lovely for that.
I fear I may have made a deadly mistake.
Well, we're more from Toontown Central, so I don't know if there may be some overlap of his crow friends and your park crows.
I mean, I do think I have seen one carrying a gun recently.
You'll probably be alive by the end of it. I'll maybe see if I can get Rec to do a bit of a chat. Come out and do a bit of a chat with him once he actually is allowed back into town. His warrant's expiring in about a month. So that shouldn't be too bad.
I just rolled
That would be
perception.
much appreciated.
Yeah. Then?
I just rolled perception for Kay. She is hearing none of this conversation about birds with guns. She is engrossed in trying to feed the ducks, which is going incredibly well apparently. She just got a 17 on animal handling. So I picture she's like crouching down at the edge of the water, like lightly tossing peas into the water for the ducks to eat.
Oh, that's adorable.
Aw.
Oblivious to the discussion about spy networks going on behind her.
Yeah, Chichi has no apologies for this because, Nikki, you do know I am a rogue. My roommate is a rogue. We're both kind of well known in our local thieving groups.
I will say I have been semi-isolated for a few years. This is difficult to say, but time in my park tends to move strangely.
I can understand perception of time gets a bit weird.
Things tend to get a little weirder when you're close to my roommate, so to speak.
Yes. Would that be the patrony one, or
Yes.
some of the other?
Yes.
Yeah, understandable. Oh well. Oh, and how have those park improvements been going?
Quite well, actually. The new flowers, they seem to be adapting quite well to the cold temperature. The water feature is much nicer now. The improved garbage cans have actually improved the littering issue we had. I think I'm starting to build a gazebo, but right now I've only got the deck, and nothing else, but it's moving along.
Aw, yay! Yeah, what is in that duffel bag? You've been carrying it around this entire time, and I know you had a thing fall out of it. Or what?
You can roll investigation on it again if you want.
Chi-Chi's investigation stats are terrible.
You still got a 12. You can hear clinking coming from inside. Like metal hitting against metal.
I thought it might be a good way to teach Kay how to do some, let's say, localized vandalism? Heavy vandalism?
Oh boy. Nikki, I hope you have planned out quite well in advance where you're going to be doing that.
Well, I've been looking. I mean, there is that big box clothing store, but I feel like maybe they might be better patrolled than some of the other stores.
Nikki, that's not the main road. That's a bit too centralized, I'm afraid.
I know there are a couple of less than ethical rich folks in town that we could perhaps make our opinions known of, if you catch my drift.
Yes, I can.
I also have some fabric dye because I thought Kay might want to play with dyeing their chassis if they wanted to.
But no, Chi-Chi is gonna pause for a bit there because I hope you have a good selection for these particular ones because, I mean, last time I decided to just stick it to some rich people, Rec got a 12-month warrant for dumping a gallon of tomato juice on he called her a cow, and that's what she got more upset by. Apparently she was a goat. Rich people are weird.
You say that, but one of the people I picked out is accused of dumping runoff into one of the waterways over here. So I find a certain amount of irony in that. I've also picked out one which seems to be a summer home. I'm not sure whose summer home.
Fantastic planning.
Oh boy. This is definitely going to turn interesting, I can tell.
I'm going to do a hammer space roll to see if I have any disguises in my hammer space.
It looks like you do.
Yes or no? Sorry.
Yes. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, you do.
So Nikki pulls out trying to think of a good way to put this, like a real, like the most bizarre mask you can think of. You guys are free to come up with an idea for what it actually looks like because I'm kind of running a blank on this. And she's also got a mustache and beard combo attached, basically an Abraham Lincoln disguise kit.
For some reason, with Nikki's face, I'm just thinking, what would cover that? Oh, plague doctor mask. Because, like, Nikki's face is opossum face. A, like, flat mask wouldn't really fit it so well, I would think.
Oh god. There's also a third mask. Just because I just found it looking up for references for the old man mask. 'Cause this is terrifying but awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to
I'm
show
going
us?
to put this one.
Oh my god.
Snail mask.
Oh boy.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Okay. I think as Nikki starts pulling out all these masks, Kay like stands up from the edge of the pond and he's like, "I'm out of peas." And there's like ducks swarming around her feet, quacking for peas, and she's out of peas. And she's just like looking to you two, like, what do I do now?
I think still got some. Here you go. Okay.
Kay takes the peas and continues distributing them to the ducks. Yeah, and then I guess uses up the rest of those peas. And looks to you guys again. Are you off to go vandalize something?
Sure.
Actually, I found the second disguise. It's
Oh,
not
boy.
really an Abraham Lincoln thing. Just for
Just a stereotypical wizard wig and
Yep.
And the eyebrows too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Gosh. All right. I would suggest we take a break here because we have been going for a bit, and this seems like a
an
decent
hour and a half.
So I'd imagine we're about halfway through.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So let's take like a 5-minute or so break. And then resume with vandalism.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See you in a few.
Yep.
See you in a few. All right. So, are we ready to get back at it?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay. So you guys are heading out of the park and back into town, I presume, looking for a place to vandalize.
I mean, Gigi's going to want to suggest maybe we should try some of the old disused buildings first, just so everyone can get in the swing of it first. And then the vandalizing things.
I mean, technically,
Yes.
technically, graffitiing an unused building is still vandalism. It's just the
Yes,
cops
it's
will
just
respond
vandalism.
slower.
it's vandalism of a spot that isn't as quite as heavily security checked. So, bit of spray paint practice before the spray painting some rich jerk's place.
Yes, there's like this excellent field out behind the park. No one's using it. It's an empty lot. Let's go try out there.
Hell yeah. Kay follows behind the two of you, not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Right. Okay, we are going to go commit crimes. Minor ones. Not actually anything to be very truly worried about. It's just some minor vandalism. So, we get to paint on things. But first, we're going to do a bit of practice painting.
Kay nods. I think she, like, thinks for a second. She's like, but you guys didn't like it when I did crimes before.
Yeah, these are minor ones that aren't actually going to really inconvenience anyone except the person they're making clean it up. And besides, this is going to be practice for doing it on a place where someone actually deserves to be annoyed. Morality, it's a bit complicated, admittedly.
I should mention that since this is your first vandalism, I picked up some washable spray paint. So it's annoying, but not too annoying. Also, if you get it all over your face, it's not going to take as long to scrub off. I really don't want you to accidentally spray over your eyes. Do you have a camera? I'm not sure how you see.
I think Kay, like, Kay's like, oh, yes, I have a camera, right? And, like, points to, like, the top edge of the screen about where a webcam would be. And, like, as the camera zooms in, you can see a camera there. It just doesn't get drawn in the wider out, not detail shots.
Nice.
But I think roll insight on Kay. Well, Dice Parser said you both will get 5. And that's a nat 1 from Chi-Chi. Oh my god, yeah. You guys are just too busy with the spray paint, I guess. Like, trying to get the spray paint all set up. Yeah, you don't notice anything. So, carry on as you were. As far as Nicky and Chichi go.
That is mildly worrying.
Sorry. Nope. Chichi and Nicky, as far as I know, yeah. Everything's the same as it was before you guys failed those insight rolls, so carry on with the spray paint demonstration.
So, I think Nicky's going to attempt to draw Isaac with stink lines over his head. just to try to get Kay's attention.
Okay.
She's trying to engage Kay in the lesson, I guess.
I think that would be like sleight of hand, because it's the details, the small details with your hand.
I mean,
Almost anyone.
I mean, it could be a performance check.
True, it could be a performance as well. So roll whichever you're better at, because you're not trying to be stealthy right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty hard to mess up a circle, so you get that part down. But I think where you tried to draw stink lines, it just wound up looking like the smoke that comes off of Isaac's head. Anyway, so
Yeah. I mean, geez, Chichi actually trying to explain the levels of morality and actual possible benefits to committing crimes and all that. Like, yeah, it's like this will actually pretty much just wash off in like a day or two, so no one's actually going to be upset. And honestly, for the few places that we were looking at, maybe actually spray painting that someone would have any cares about, none of them are owned by morally nice people, so it's like also just don't care that much.
I think Kay reaches out to ask for one of the spray paint cans.
Yep. Nikki hands it over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Kay like looks at the Isaac that Nikki just drew and then just starts spraying over it. Like, not really drawing anything, just trying to cover it up.
Yeah, admittedly, should have expected that. Chi-Chi's gonna try and spray paint some birds. Just because it's something they're used to drawing, really.
Oh.
Now you get the good roll.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chi-Chi spray paints some very nice looking birds indeed.
Quite possibly has already gotten to also adding in some sky, some nice clouds, some variations of birds. Quite potentially a monkey hiding in the background.
I think when Kay finishes up spraying over the drawing of Isaac, she comes over to look at what Chi-Chi is drawing from a bit of a distance. And is just like watching as Chi-Chi paints.
Yeah. Yeah, Chi-Chi is just one for more. I have painted a very impressive mural on your wall. And goodbye before you can complain about the fact I never bothered to ask for permission. See ya.
I think Kay points at what Chi-Chi's drawing is like, I like that one.
Yeah, it is art, and you can kind of just draw what you want. Admittedly, this one's a bit more of a view I just happen to have seen a lot. So, pretty used to this one.
I don't think I've seen a view like that in a while.
Oh, it's actually a really easy one to get. You just have to get about 4 to 8 stories up on like East Toontown and wait for a good clear sunset. It's weather depending, but yeah. Yeah, this is also why you can't. Huh? Sorry. Ghosty?
Oh, yeah, I said I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Chichi just going off the mild tangent. This is also kind of why I can't really invite anyone over to my place. It's I don't have a walk up to that level.
Oh, that makes sense.
Does it though?
I mean, yes, Chi-Chi is a monkey and can climb very well. Chi-Chi's roommate is a bird that can fly.
I know that much. It's just like it's the whole building
stairs.
Monkeys and birds. Mm-hmm.
It's Chi-Chi is a case of stairs. Why would I need that? Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, sorry, it's a entirely vertical 4-story wall. Has a ladder to the roof, but that's not down.
I think Kay's like
put in like a levee system.
Maybe. I'd actually have a chat with Greg over that because I haven't really had guests come over. So I haven't actually thought about it.
Kay's like, I tried to climb the ladder to the high wire once. That didn't go well.
Yeah, it is very important to be careful when you're climbing things. Just gravity is something that I don't tend to win arguments against.
Mm-hmm. Kay nods very solemnly at that.
And Chi-Chi is not even going to remotely mention the fact that they're only 20 pounds, so it's like inertia doesn't really get them that badly either. It's just, no, I don't want to fall that far. That's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, once Chi-Chi is mostly done with theirs, it's like, okay. And, well, that's fair opinion of Isaac. Dealt with. Want to actually try spray painting something else?
Like, what?
I mean, what's something you'd actually want to paint?
I think Kay, like, thinks about it for a minute. And then Let's see how this goes.
Ow.
Yep. Kay has a -1 in performance. So she starts. This fits though. She starts trying to spray paint on the ground, and it's just wobbly and messy and very like uneven lines. You think it's supposed to be a spiral, but honestly it just looks like a tangle of paint. Cause yeah, Kay has never really done anything like this before. Never really painted or colored or drawn.
Kid's first attempt at artistry. It's like, you're doing so well. It's like, it's a really, really good attempt. Even though Chichi has absolutely no idea what Kay is trying to make.
I think Kay looks up at Chichi and shakes her head like, no, it's not good.
It's like, you're really trying hard, though, so that counts for a lot.
We all gotta start somewhere. For your first piece of vandalism, it's not bad.
Yeah, this is literally another reason Chichi wanted to start with the vandalism attempts on a place that no one is actually probably going to notice the vandalism attempts before the rain gets through with it. Because, okay, now, practice. Practice. Not just leaving random squiggles on chain stores.
Okay, with that encouragement, Kay will try again. We'll like move to a different section of what is this, like a vacant lot, and they're I'm assuming this is a vacant lot and they're like spraying down on like an abandoned parking lot thing, but is it like an abandoned building? I don't know why I'm asking. I'm the DM.
I would assume so, because then it's fairly safe to just idle around for a bit and get some practice in.
Yeah. I'm kind of like imagining like a gravel area with like a lot of grass growing up between the gravel. You know, some place that no one's really paid attention to for at least a decade.
Yeah. I think you like think this might have once been like a basketball court thing, but the pavement is really cracked and old and all the paint has worn away, so like there's just this random slab of concrete in the middle of the park now. Well, that's slightly better. Oh, the first one was a modified one, now we have a modified 2. Baby steps.
Yeah. We may not actually get to the vandalizing of a box store.
Okay.
11.
Woo. So third attempt, third time's the charm, and Kay, sort of scowling, does manage to paint what is recognizable as a spiral. It's still kind of wobbly, but you can tell what it's supposed to be.
Yay!
I think she kind of looks towards Nicky and Chichi at that to gauge their reaction.
Chichi is acting incredibly impressed because, yay, you're doing great! Chichi is slightly confused why it's a spiral, but yay, you're doing great.
Like, Nikki like puts her little possum hands up and like does a little clapping motion.
And Kay stops the scowling she was doing down at the pavement and seems like pleasantly surprised at the positive reaction to that. You can roll insight if you want.
I mean, Chichi will happily attempt it again because it cannot go bad as the first roll.
It literally cannot get any worse. Hell yeah.
Yay.
So yeah, 15 and 19, both of you can see Kay is not very pleased with it herself, but she's like sort of like, well, if Chichi and Nikki think it's good enough, it must be okay. And Chichi with a 19, you can kind of also see that she's like, you know, you can both see that she's kind of like pleasantly surprised by your reaction being positive. And Chi-Chi can see that she's actually like bouncing a little as she like walks over to put the spray paint can back with the others.
Aww.
She's like, oh, they liked it. Not the reaction she's used to when she makes things.
Aww.
I understand. Because
considering the things she's made, yes.
It's like, I mean, the things in the past that Kay has made were very impressive, but in a moderately to severely disruptive way. So it's like, of course, Chi-Chi hadn't been very impressed from last time, because last time they were kind of beyond what Chi-Chi feels is appropriate for chaotic dismay, havoc, birds.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Trash Goblin and Flesh Monkey attempt to explain morality and levels of what is okay and what gets you. That's just kind of excessive.
Mm-hmm.
Chichi can have moments of, Isaac, why did you have to be so terrible at raising a kid? This is, Chichi is not equipped to be parent.
To be fair, I don't think anyone in this group is equipped to be parent.
Nope.
There's like a
Maybe
sliding
not.
scale. I think at the top is Mango, Chi-Chi, and then Nikki.
Yeah, Chi-Chi has most mental capacity to figure out how to be fairly decent if slightly a bit too much crime is fine at.
Well, consider this, you can't really do worse. The bar is below the ground.
Yeah, the bar is a tripping hazard in a wine cellar. But still, Chi-Chi is panicked because How to care for a small child? It's like I popped into existence as a teenager, basically. How do I don't know.
How do you interact with a small child?
Give child enrichment.
Contemplate if enrichment may involve hunting down Isaac and kicking his butt.
Yes.
But also, maybe not teach child to commit assault? Because that's kind of legally frowned on heavily. Even if Jerk absolutely earns it.
Okay, but Kate can have a little assault as a treat.
Yeah. But first, vandalism, because vandalism lets us do painting projects instead.
Indeed. Are you guys, do you think, ready to move on from practicing at the abandoned concrete slab in the middle of the park?
Yes, but first we have to pick out who gets which mask.
I mean, immediately hand off Plague Doctor Mask to Nikki because, like, literally nothing else is going to fit you.
True. Who's going to be the wizard and who's going to be the snail?
Okay, which mask do you want?
I think Kay will take the snail mask.
Okay, I am now Elderly Wizard Plush Monkey.
I think Kay holds the snail mask before putting it on and is like, what is this for?
It's so that if somebody sees us, we don't get caught. Because although this is technically right, some people might disagree.
Yeah, we are committing a thing that has not negative moral implications, but it does unfortunately contain some negative legal implications. Chichi is just going to fold their bow ears back so it stays hidden under the wig.
And Kay looks very dubious but puts the snail mask on. Is probably kind of on crooked so that their camera can make it through one of the eye holes, which are situated for, you know, a person with two eyes.
That's perfect because they'll be looking for someone with two eyes.
If they even realize it's a mask, which with Toons, who knows?
Because Toonkind, we are weirdly good with terrible, terrible disguises. Yay, the fun of paper thin disguise.
Yay. Okay. So, and I'm guessing Nikki puts on the plague doctor mask.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys gonna head into town?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's a What rolls do I want to make you make? Because there's a couple things that I want you to roll for. So, I think first off, roll survival for trying to find the type of building that you're looking to vandalize.
Okay.
Or investigation, I guess. It could be either. Survival's more trying to find a specific place you know how to get to, like navigation and directions. So, investigation could work too.
Cheech will go with rolling survival because they have a not terrible stat bonus to that. But they actually rolled well.
All right. Chichi, you are a monkey on a mission. At several points, I think you have to grab Nikki to keep her from wandering off in the wrong direction.
It's like, no, Nikki, this way. I remembered seeing one of those retail chains you really hate over here. And I remember it's the one that has terrible security patrols that are so lazy, so it's going to be perfect.
All right, so you arrive in front of... Sorry.
Because even if this is committing vandalism, Chi-Chi's going to pick an easier target for first-time kid vandalism.
All right, so you arrive at this chain clothing store on a less busy side street off of the main street. So the next thing is to roll perception to see who is about.
Chi-Chi, please roll well. Eek.
Go.
Ouch.
Okay. So that's a 10 from Chi-Chi, a 7 from Nikki, and a 3 from Kay. I think Kay is having a really hard time seeing out of her mask, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, understandable.
Okay. As far as you're concerned, the street is, clear. You don't see the security guy anywhere. You don't see crowds of people along the streets, and you are clear and good to start spray painting.
Chi-Chi is going to want to go over to, like, the side or back of the building, preferably.
Yeah, there's like a little side alley down the side of the building.
Because even still, it's like, and yeah, Nikki, I know you want to do something a bit more bold, but come on, kids first vandalism. Let's make it harder for them to catch on to the vandalism.
Okay. This once.
We can do bigger we can do more upfront vandalism on the next place. So yeah, down the side alley to find a good bit of wall and spray paint that.
All right, roll performance or sleight of hand. Are they all painting at once? I guess they can be, so. I'm gonna switch to sleight of hand for Kay because it's better. Thank God. Because otherwise that would have been even worse. So, Yeah, so Chi-Chi, you've got it covered. You're making like this very nice looking mural of like
Gorgeous mural of a nice bit of the Toontown skyline at a charming evening because Gigi happens to just like that view.
mhm.
I think Nikki is probably using Isaac's full name and putting Isaac so and so
As
did
it be.
this. My phone number is blank. I live at blank.
You guys don't know where he lives. I'm sorry, you can give out his phone number, but you don't have his address.
We didn't find out his. Wait, we found out the lab address.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't
And-
actually his house, was it?
Nope.
Nope.
Even though it kind of seemed like he lived there.
Nope.
I mean, it is an address though.
There's nothing really there anymore, though, because you guys burnt it down.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the only address of his that you have. But you can put his phone number.
Yes, I will do this. I want to muddy his name as much as possible.
Excellent. And then Kay is off just doodling spiraling lines on the side of the building, and they're still kind of wonky. But they sure are painting. Hey guys, roll stealth.
No whammy, no whammy. Okay, that's better than I was expecting.
Oh.
Uh-oh. So Kay got a modified 1. This is not her strong
Katie.
suit. Kay has a dump stat in Dex. So
We can see.
So Chi-Chi with a 22, you are the knight. You go fucking unnoticed. Yeah, Nikki 12, K 1. Yeah, that 13 was perception. And sorry. I think Kay dropped a can of spray paint and it made a noise against the street. And then from outside the alley, you hear, what exactly are you doing in there? Wait. What are you writing? Yeah, if you want to turn and see who's outside the alley,
Yes. Yes, Chi-Chi would like to know. Dang it, who?
I'm looking through my image
A
folder.
guard or two, but oh jeez, who?
Well, it's not a guard, so that's the good news. It's
Oh
Isaac.
no.
We're all like swearing under Chi-Chi's breath.
The other good news is you put on your fucking disguises so he doesn't recognize you. But he recognizes his own fucking name and phone number written on the wall.
How unfortunate.
How unfortunate indeed.
I'm going to attempt to pick up. I'm going to try and roll a strength check to pick up K, and I'm going to try to use expeditious retreat.
All right. Roll that strength.
I need possum arms. Don't fail me now.
I wish you the best of luck with this, and you're gonna. Nope.
Ouch.
No.
That's a 3. I think you nudge Case slightly, and that's about as good as you get. Because she is 6 inches taller than you and made of metal. And kind of, you can roll insight on K if you like. You can also, try to deal with Isaac, who is, I think, walking into the alleyway now. Chi-Chi, he still hasn't spotted you, so...
Yeah, and Chi-Chi is deciding what to do about this.
I think
because I kind of started actually understanding what all oh my god, they have so many things to do.
What was that roll for Ghosty?
Yep. It's for insight.
Insight into K?
Yeah.
Yeah, 19. That's fucking good. K is, frozen in place with, fear. She was not expecting this. She does not want this. And she does not know what to do. On the bright side, Isaac's focus is on you because you were the one spray painting his name on the wall. So he kind of walks past Kay and is sort of like...
Yeah. Chi-Chi is currently wondering, is there a specific rule for knocking someone unconscious?
Huh. Other than just beating the shit out of them until they hit 0 HP. Let's see.
Because Chi-Chi doesn't want to deal with him today.
Let's see. I'm Googling in another tab. Knockout rules from the DnD subreddit. Don't tell me now. Okay. So knocking someone out is apparently just getting them to 0 HP with non-lethal intent, as far as I can tell. So unless you have something like sleep, unless you have something like sleep.
I do have sleep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Chi-Chi hasn't gotten their next level with rogues, so they haven't got spells yet.
Mm-hmm.
They are not objectional to beating the absolute snot out of Isaac, but also That'd be a bit much.
So,
Mhm.
I think I am going to cast Sleep on Isaac at 2nd level.
So that's, I think, 78 of hit points you can affect.
Yep.
Alright, so roll 78. Unfortunately, that's not enough.
How does sleep spell even work?
It's the number of dice you roll is how many hit points of creature you can knock out. Isaac's got more than 43 HP.
Oh, darn it.
Sorry. Wait, let me check the details for sleep, because is he gonna know that you tried to cast sleep on him?
Let me look at the. I'm looking at the deets right now. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. It doesn't, according to D&D Beyond, it doesn't say. I think that's interesting, though. I think it might be more interesting if he does know. So he, like, stops walking towards Nicky for a second, and then he just, like, you get the impression he's looking at you even more furiously, which is impressive considering his head is an orb with no facial features or ability to tell which direction he's looking. And he's like, what exactly are you trying to do here?
Okay, at this moment, then Chichi might just jump attack him.
Alright. Go for it.
So, yeah. There's
That
the martial
hits.
arts attack. And I admittedly actually kind of figured out how all my character's bonuses work. So that's the d6 from the first martial arts attack, and oh geez. Because Isaac is, I guess, within 5 feet of another character, and Chi-Chi is a rogue. There's another d6. And also, Chi-Chi was planning to blow a key point on Flurry of Blows because I realized that's a bonus action.
Hell yeah.
Monks are nightmarish.
That hits.
And now for the second swing.
That one doesn't make it.
And now the thing I'm trying to wonder is, would sneak attack apply to that flurry of blows that actually did land? Or, oh wait, that's a once per turn, ain't it? Never mind.
Yeah, I think that's probably can only apply, yeah, once per turn. So you did get a pretty damn good series of hits in. And I think like Isaac stumbles backwards and he's like kind of
He just took
surprised by
13 damage.
yeah.
So
He is extremely taken aback by out of nowhere being attacked by what looks like an old monkey wizard that he didn't even see in this alleyway 2 seconds ago. He's like, what is going on here? Why are you attacking me?
Chichi isn't even going to talk to him because, I mean, even with paper thin disguise, he might actually figure out. But Chichi will honestly be thinking, you just walked in on a bunch of criminals and you're wondering why we're going immediately for this attack. My God, are you that naive?
Isaac has one kind of smarts, and it's book smarts. It's sure as fuck not street smarts. But yeah, if you want to take this advantage to run, otherwise we can roll initiative.
Yeah, it's can Nicky get Kay's attention long enough to get across the fact of the run?
What would you have to roll for that?
I am actually going to use something that I have never used before. Part of my pact. It's a pact boon.
Oh?
I am going to use my Fey presence. And Kay and Isaac are going to have to roll a DC 14 wisdom save or be afraid of me.
Wait, why
Kay and
also
Isaac?
Kay?
Because if Kay's more afraid, she's going to run in the opposite direction.
You're making a big assumption there, but... Oh, right, the frightened condition you do have to run, huh? So it's a whiz save?
It's a whiz save.
Okay.
I mean, unless... And if this fails, I guess Chichi could probably do a strength test, a strength roll of maybe picking up Kay and bolting for it. Chichi does not have... good strength, so...
Okay. So
Dang
that's
it.
a 15 from Kay, a 19 from Isaac. What was the DC for that?
14.
Okay, so they both pass.
Okay, then Chichi really doesn't want to have to drag this out into a fight with Isaac, so they might just try to grab Kay and run for it.
You can roll a strength check.
Dump stats, why?
12. I very much want you guys to get out of this encounter, but I don't know if I can justify that working. Kay is heavy. Kay is metal robot and you are but plush monkey. I don't think I don't think a 12 is enough.
I mean,
If you
maybe
would-
adrenaline second chance.
If Nicky wants to help and you can both roll and combine the total.
I will indeed help.
Okay. 18. Yeah, I'll say between the two of you, you like each take one of Kay's arms and manage to like half carry, half drag her off down the street.
Nicky, I'm gonna hope you grab the bag.
Oh, yeah.
I think like Isaac calls out after you, like, I will be informing the authorities.
It's your name on the wall! How's that going to look?
he's not chasing after you. So, because, yeah, disguises remained on. He doesn't have that much of a personal vendetta to be chasing down a handful of graffiti artists, so yeah, you get away. And I think once you're like a little further away, Kay kind of starts running herself as well and not needing to be carried. So, where are you guys running to?
I would say either towards the park or the circus.
I will say the
let's
park's
go with-
closer.
Yeah, park would be closer.
Yeah, the circus is like a walk away from the town, and you would have to go through the rest of the town first.
Yeah.
And Nikki, did you grab that bag of spray paint, or did you leave that behind?
D2. I'll 2 for I've got it, 1 for I don't.
Yeah, looks like you did not snag that on your way out.
Oh no.
So, you're not. I will say you would be drawing more attention if you were running through the middle of town with the duffel bag. So, you're not drawing as much attention as you could be, but you are getting some looks for running through town.
I have an idea.
It's a bunch of tunes. It's like, how is this unusual?
It's not that unusual, but, you know, people's eyes are drawn by movement and all that.
Yeah.
Ghosty, what was your idea?
What if we take off the disguises and go to the police before Isaac does?
You can certainly try it.
It is one way to deal with it.
What do you guys think?
Kay doesn't have input on this.
I mean, Chi-Chi's just gonna think it over, and it's like, I'd rather just be done with the dudes, so...
I mean, it would be more satisfying to beat the shit out of them later.
Yeah, but also, kind of just rather not deal with them.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, are you alright?
You can roll insight.
Huh?
You can roll insight on Kay.
Ah, okay. I just heard sight there.
Staria possessed me to recommend on site in the middle of our game. Okay. 14 and 18. 14's not bad, so you can both tell. No, Kay is not alright. She's still very shaky. And, like, actually, if you're taking the disguises off, you can see, like, behind the mask, she has gone back to, like, the swirling colors background on her monitor that she had when you first met her and hasn't had since then. Yeah. And she is not talking. And with an 18, Nikki, you can tell she's like kind of shaking a little bit.
Nikki has honestly no idea how to comfort people, or robots. But I think she's going to go over and like put what she thinks is a comforting hand on her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And say, like, he can't get you now. Or at least we're not going to let him.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was fine with running away that time, but if another encounter happens, I might just beat him up until he is entirely unconscious. I ain't got no qualms about it.
Oh no, I've threatened to eat him before. I'm not afraid to actually follow through on that.
And Kay's like very quietly like, but what if you're not here next time?
Mango will be around. Cal will be around.
We can teach you how to do it for yourself next time if you want us to.
Yeah.
I
And I
can't.
have no objections to teaching you how to fight. Maybe not exactly like I or Nikki do, but there are options.
I can't fight
personally would
Isaac.
not recommend making a pact with an eldritch entity to get power, but that's just me.
Yeah, Warlock's a bit of a class in itself.
But even if I can't fight Isaac.
Huh?
I can't fight Isaac.
Sorry, I can barely hear you.
Sorry. Kay's voice is naturally so quiet, and she's so quiet right now. She's saying, I can't fight Isaac.
You won't have to if you really don't want to.
I would love to. I can't.
Is this a coke thing?
Kay nods.
Okay, no worries. I may actually just kill him.
Oh, most definitely.
It's part of my programming. I can't hurt him.
We could teach you how to deal with him in a way that wouldn't technically hurt him.
Right, fun time to start working out loopholes.
Yes, there probably is a loophole. After all, I got around it with the goggles. Let me know if you guys couldn't hear that.
I heard Isaac.
Shoot. She's saying, loopholes. Yes, there probably is a loophole. After all, I got around it with the goggles. 'Cause yeah, those goggles that Isaac was wearing when you first met him that cast Dominate Person on him. Kay did make those and get those on him. So, and that didn't. What?
Yeah, you finish first.
I was just saying that didn't violate her programming. She was able to do that.
Maybe it's physical harm?
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of loopholes around committing physical harm.
We could commit tax fraud in his name. I mean,
I'm not sure he hasn't already done that, actually.
Kate shakes her head. No, he follows the law.
what? You've been around Isaac more than any of us have. What are some of the things that really get to him that aren't physical? What are the things that annoy him?
Noise. Mess. When he's not the one who makes it. Disorder. He doesn't like when people don't do what he tells them.
I mean, we could theoretically frame him for something, but if the graffiti doesn't work, I'm not sure how well that would do.
Yeah, and graffiti is usually just a fine. So,
I mean, there is always arson. I mean, he is essentially a floating orb that's on fire.
Isaac's not on fire.
pretty sure it's a kind of smoke, actually.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's it's probably simplified for cartoon reasons, but the Isaac's an OC that I sort of reworked for Toonkind a little bit, but it's just the material his head is made out of interacts with oxygen in a way that produces off-gassing. So it's a chemical reaction, not a fire. The temperature is normal.
Oh, nice. We could always try to see if we could get him on insurance fraud somehow. Maybe put a tip into the right people and say, "Oh, Isaac set his own laboratory on fire to collect the insurance or something."
Yeah, I mean, that would be an option, but then we'd have to find out if he ever actually insured the place.
He did.
Because it seemed like it was supposed to be a fairly secret location.
Oh, he had it fully insured. And everything inside.
Sorry, I barely heard that.
Sorry. Oh, he had it fully insured and everything inside. Is that any better?
Yeah, I heard that time.
I'm gonna speak directly into the mic with Kay's voice.
Now,
Man,
if there's one thing I know about insurance agents, if they even get a whiff of fraud, they will go after it like a bloodhound.
yeah, that would be an option.
At the very least, it could buy us some time to do something a little more permanent, if you know what I mean.
Roll insight on Kay. Oh boy.
Insight.
Okay.
Why?
Neither of those is great. I'll say Nicky with a 3. Kay looks vaguely uncomfortable. Chichi with a 9. Kay looks like there's something she wants to say but also doesn't want to say.
Yeah. I mean, with the bit that Chi-Chi can actually notice, like, okay, do you know something?
Kay kind of, like, nervously wrings her hands together and is like, if we're trying to frame him for insurance fraud, I know I was on his insurance, and he probably included me in his claim. If, well,
I heard about half of that.
Sorry. I'll hold the mic closer and try to speak up. If we're trying to frame Isaac for insurance fraud, I know I was covered on his insurance policy. And if the claim included me as something damaged in the fire, well, we can prove I wasn't.
Yeah, that would be leverage, and I have to just stop for a moment and say that is an entirely screwed up thing to be working off of, but okay.
I am a little concerned that he could perhaps reclaim you as his property, as disturbing as that sounds, if we were to go that route.
Mm-hmm. And now you see why Kay didn't want to bring this up.
Yeah, Chi-Chi is just, that would be an angle. I don't want to go on that angle because that is deep. That is making it out as if you are not sentient, which would that then fall under the category of he tried to put an insurance claim on a object when it was in fact a person. Okay, this is getting into grounds of morality and legality that I do not have the knowledge of at all.
I may have grabbed Kay's old monitor when we were trash in the place. I mean, would that count?
Hammer space roll, I guess, to see if you actually did.
I mean, I know I did steal a lot of things.
Oh, of all times to fumble.
Oh boy. Time for the fumble roll of what on earth did you just pull out of hammer space?
What's the fumble chart? Where's the fumble chart?
I think that's in Toonkind.
I think so. I'm gonna see if I have it saved somewhere.
Okay. I've got a knife. A bread knife.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a moment of, that's not a computer monitor.
Mm.
Nikki, why do you own a bread knife? Actually, never mind. I'm not even going to ask why you own a bread knife.
Give me a moment. I'm going to try it one more time. I might have something interesting in here. I'm not sure.
I think that's another fumble because it's half chance of a lower 5 fumble again.
Okay, what's... Just a handful of yogurt.
Yeah, that's
Chichi
fitting.
is actually going to look a bit confused. It's like,
Look, steal a lot of things. I should probably clean out my hammer space pretty soon.
maybe, yeah.
Just
Maybe once you get that writing desk set up at your place. Sure, it'll work lovely for the office.
Oh, yes.
I'm just picturing Nikki dumpster diving and going, what? This yogurt is totally still good, and stuffing it loose into her hammer space.
Yeah.
Just loose yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I cannot picture Nikki using a spoon to eat yogurt.
no. Now, the question is it plain yogurt or is it, like, flavored?
That's up to you. What kind of yogurt would Nikki put into her hammer space?
I mean, I would assume it was probably started out plain, but I think it's hammer space flavored now.
Yes, the question of, why is there a rubber duck in it? Or wait, are those rubber duck marshmallows? Actually, that's kind of adorable.
Yes.
Little bit of chalk dust. You gonna try again?
I think I'm going to try one more time. No whammy. Once again.
It's another fumble.
Last time to the fumble table, and then we will shelve this decision. Okay. Finger trap toy. I think you may have just bound your hand together.
Yep.
It's like, Chichi's just, okay, let's just entirely shelve that decision. Nikki, do you need some help?
My hands are tied on this.
Nikki, do you need some help?
Maybe. Yes. Please.
Chichi will attempt to help to get Nikki out of the finger trap. Which... What would Chichi roll for that? If anything, because these are...
How would you think? I feel like it might be that Nikki has to roll to escape and Chi-Chi can just give the help action. I feel like sleight of hand, because I know my first instinct is strength, but that's how you get your finger caught.
Yeah.
So,
Good luck, Nikki. You get
Nikki.
the help action.
So you can roll that at advantage.
Yeah. Give me a sec.
Okay. Yeah. So the 15 works, and you get your hands free of the finger trap.
Hooray!
Hurrah!
Yep, your hands are free now. You do not have computer monitor. Where do you want to go from here?
I mean, Chi-Chi's just gonna be thinking, maybe let's just head back to the circus. Just kind of forget about dealing with Isaac for the moment.
I think Kay nods at that.
And then we can convene with Mango to figure out how to teach you self-defense without going into actually hurting people, because bloody hard codes.
Or making a pact with an eldritch being. I don't think that would be a good choice for you. Please don't make a pact with an eldritch being.
We have other options that don't involve packs. Though it's... Kate, do you think that loophole would make it so you could use a familiar to do the actual damaging, because it's not technically you doing it?
Kay considers that for a moment and then nods. She's like, I think maybe it might be worth a try. As long as it's not me initiating the harm to him.
Okay, then this actually gives us a fair bit of leeway on what to do. Because if familiars are fair game, that is actually quite a fairly good range of selections. I'm actually having a bit of amusement of game of help Kay find a job class to use. I did not expect it to turn that way. But, fun times.
Yeah, totally unrelated. I was looking up how to give artificers a familiar the other day. I still can't figure that shit out. It's possible.
It's a level 1 infusion thing. Which I know because I was thoroughly checking it, because it was a bit bugged up on my DMV for a bit, but it is a level... or is it a level 3? Shoot.
We can
Yeah.
work out the details after. I'm
I
gonna
did
be honest. I don't know how to play an artificer. I have 2 artificers. I don't know how to play artificers.
I have not yet had a chance to play my artificer, but maybe someday.
Someday.
One day.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are heading back to the circus then?
Yes, and Chichi is going to be keeping a very sharp eye out just to make sure that there are no further encounters with Isaac on the way back.
You want to roll a perception?
Yes, even though Chi-Chi's perception is not good. Except when it actually rolls good. Oh, wow.
Hell yeah, it's 17. You do not see any sign of Isaac on your way out of town. You get the feeling maybe he'd actually stick around and try to call the police to that graffiti location. So.
It's still going to be really awkward for him to explain why the graffiti is his name and phone number.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, some fun of me. He now has to convince the local authority that, no, I did not do this. Yes, I am the only witness.
Yes, that is my
swear I
full
did not
name
do
and my
this.
phone number. And when you call
And
that phone number, I pick up. But I didn't do it.
Yeah, it'll be fun just to leave and just try and sort that out.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, I think
Arrangements.
that as they're leaving town, Nikki has pulled out a Sharpie from somewhere you guys probably haven't noticed, probably from like the inside of their hoodie pocket, and is just writing, for a good time, call Isaac's phone number.
On what? On everything she
Nikki?
passes?
On anywhere like there's a lot of graffiti already. You know,
I mean, Chi-Chi is probably going to pick up on that. It's like, Nikki, that... Okay, you know what? I accept that, but not that kind of annoyance.
So I rolled... Sorry, finish what you were saying.
It's like, just... No, Nikki, the worst people call to that kind of response. It's really too gross. No.
he can't call the cops if he can't use his phone.
So, the 19 I just rolled was perception for Kay to see if she notices Nikki doing this, so I think safe to say she does. And she's like, but Isaac's not a good time? Like,
no. Kay, this is a rather more adult subject, and no, Nikki is just writing that down so he'll get harassed. Don't. You really don't want to mess with that one. Gross. Just plain gross. Do not.
Kay is once again nodding, but
Nikki-
not really
Nikki-
understanding.
Nikki just sort of throws the Sharpie off into the distance.
Yeah,
That's
like,
littering.
Nikki, please don't make me try and explain what this type of criminal activity is going to invoke on him, because that's out of PG-13. And I don't think the game needs to be rated that highly.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't thinking of that. I was just sort of like trying to be a nuisance. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not actually that annoyed, it's just me. how would you explain that in character to this kid about what the type of crime this actually is going to be? Because I can't think of a non-PG-13 way to say it.
Yeah.
But just going back to circus then.
Yep, let's go back to the circus.
All right. So you all head back to the circus. I think when you get back, they are just wrapping up the mid-afternoon show with the last few members of the crowd like trickling out. You can like head into the staff tent.
Yeah, might as well go see Cal. Because Cal, Yen.
Chichi, you're back a little earlier than I expected, but yes, I'm in. How did it go in town?
Oh, things went pretty well. Did a bit of shopping. And Chi-Chi's actually gonna settle down and start working through what a pattern for the dress they're going to make for Kay's. Because minor complications encountered.
What do you mean by minor complications?
You'll never believe who we saw there. Hint, they got a purple orb for a head.
Yeah, Cal's... Did y'all ever explain the relationship between Isaac and Kay? I know you were like, Kay's cool, but like, I think
we
Cal,
gave
like...
him the short version that just, for the general sense of the... No, it's really, really bad.
Yeah, so Cal, like, his face drops and he's kind of scowling a bit. And he's like, well, you don't say. All the way out here, huh?
Yeah, it was really surprising.
Nikki's going to look over to where Kay is and like try to measure whether or not they're listening before she says this.
You can roll
Don't
insight.
think she's
12. You're not really sure whether she's listening or not. She's kind of like standing near the door of the tent.
So Nikki's going to drop her voice a little bit.
Chichi, you can tell Kay's definitely listening.
You don't think he knows she's here, do you?
Who are you asking with that, Nikki?
Cal.
I mean, I can't imagine how he would. Kay's not a member of the circus staff. She doesn't appear in any of our shows or advertising for that reason. So, I don't know how he would know she was here.
Chi-Chi is going to try and go over to Kay and trying to get Kay involved in the process of sewing, because this will be an interesting little activity. And if anything happens, you can start learning how to do mending yourself. Believe me, that is a lot bigger a help than you will ever think it is.
Kay doesn't look very convinced, but she'll go along with Chi-Chi in like she's mostly looking at the dress, carrying over that 20 insight. She's not especially focused on it.
Well, Chichi is at least going to try to get Kay's mind off the worst dread. Because, yeah, I don't.
Actually, let me roll for that. Yeah, okay. So this time, I did one of these earlier when Nikki was fumbling to see if that actually distracts Kay, and this time I think it does. Like, Kay pulls out the... Oh, wait. I gotta roll hammer space for it. Okay, Kay pulls out the fabric that she got earlier and seems a little bit more enthused about the prospect of,
And
you
now
know...
to see, I have to roll Chi-Chi's hammer space to get her sewing kit out. Yay!
Hey!
Yeah, and out behind Chi-Chi's little heart patch pops a surprisingly large box of threads and other sewing threads, ribbons, so many sewing pins, and just all the supplies of a sewing box.
Nice.
Because the other thing Chi-Chi has to do is measurements of Kay to figure out what the sizing on this dress is going to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting dress, because Kay's body is one big rectangle. So...
Yeah.
I mean, we could always make a little hoop skirt for her.
I'm pretty sure Chi-Chi has some tool. And failing that, they have the knowledge of pleating to create volume.
Excellent. While Chi-Chi and Kay are absorbed in the sewing, I'm not sure if Nikki wants to continue conversing with Cal.
She's going to. Cal, do you have anyone on staff who knows self-defense techniques, or maybe some sort of security?
I mean, we're pretty short on staff right now. It's just me, Mango, and the other performers, so... I mean, me and Mango are probably best equipped for that. The new guys are great performers, but they're not so gifted in the magic or self-defense departments. I mean, things are going well enough. We might be able to expand our staff again, and I can keep that in mind next time we get to hire, but we're not at the point where we can afford to keep a dedicated security staff member on our team.
Do you, it might not be a bad idea if instead you could hire an animal trainer or something. Part of the issue with Kay is that she cannot harm Isaac herself, but if she were to have, for instance, a large dog or a particularly angry goose with her, it would be of great help.
And Cal does consider that. He's like, might be feasible. I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure if traveling with animals would be more or less of a financial drain than having a dedicated security person, but I can run the numbers.
I would say that an animal could do double duty as security and entertainment. A good guard dog, after all, can do a variety of tricks as well. I'm not entirely sure about guard geese though. Geese tend to live by their and die by their own moral code.
Isaac nods. He's like, you certainly have a point there. There could be. Well, there's certainly the possibility that an animal could serve as security and still be entertainment. I'll have to make some inquiries.
Though, granted, we could probably just duct tape a knife to a goose and it would be fairly effective. Geese are quite vicious.
Oh, I'm with you there, but the issue is, of course, that we only want it to hurt Isaac, and if it starts hurting guests of the circus at random, or, you know, Kay herself, then we run into issues.
Yes, it would be bad to create a monster even worse than the one we were trying to guard against.
Cal nods seriously.
We do not want to cause the goose uprising so early.
Or at all, preferably. Yeah, how's it going with Chichi, I guess, bouncing back and forth?
I have no idea what I'd roll for crafting. That ain't on the sheet.
Who knows? Sleight of hand or performance? Or maybe just dex?
I think it might just be a flat D20 because I have a tools section, but I never picked up proficiency with Weaver's tools for some reason.
Fair enough. If you want to roll a flat D20, you could add your dex modifier to it, because I imagine sewing dexterity, especially if you're doing it by hand.
Yeah. Which more or less would just be a sleight of hand roll because kind of the same thing.
Unless you have proficiency in sleight of hand. But sure, take it.
I don't actually have proficiency in sleight of hand.
What kind of a rogue are you?
One that's predominantly a monk.
I'll say 12 is good enough. You're not making anything super fancy, but
dress.
It is in one piece, and the hems are not horribly frayed.
The hems are in good order, the stitching is right, the sizing is actually suitable. It's just
all of those things.
A very simple pattern dress. So
Kay seems pretty happy with it, though.
yeah. Yay.
Just to check in, have you been sewing? Have you sewed an entire dress while this conversation about the goose uprising was going on?
Yes, I guess so.
Hell yeah, way to go. And you say you're not proficient with Weaver's tools, and yet look how fast Chichi works.
I mean, assumably the pattern's going to be a basic A-line dress, which has a bit of flair to it, so some shape.
Yeah.
Firing a tulle skirt to fit under it would give it more shape, but details.
Details. Nikki, was there more of that conversation with Cal that you wanted to have? Maybe I shouldn't have been bouncing back and forth. I should.
No, not really.
Yeah, so I guess you close out with Cal now has a list of suggestions to look into, from hiring a security person to getting Kay an attack goose. Which I think he is writing down on some loose paper from his desk. And yeah, you turn back from that conversation, and now Kay is wearing a dress, which maybe Chi-Chi is sewing up the finishing touches on.
I give Kay a big thumbs up.
I think Kay gives you 2 thumbs up in return.
Okay, just poking around on Artificer. It's level 2 they get their first infusions, so.
Level what?
Poking through on Artificer, they get infusions at level 2.
Okay. Kay definitely has infusions. I just don't know what those are or how to use them.
I mean, I kind of get how it works. It's for the one that'd be the Homunculus Servant. That's just a nice, fairly expensive gem, crystal.
I noticed the expense there.
I'm on DnD Wikidot.
Now I am as well.
Yeah, that one's actually got fairly good resources.
Oh
yeah.
dear. Well, that's a little concerning. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes on its turn is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action on your turn to command it to take any other action. So I don't know that would work.
What if we made a mech suit for a goose?
I mean, the way I see it with Homunculus Servants, you can give it slightly vague orders that it can then do the thing you actually want it to do.
Perhaps.
Because that's how it tends to work in one of my other DnC sessions with my one character's crow companion. Because former warlockness. They have a bird. The bird is very self-opinionated.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I feel like this might be working out the details of how to get Kay a familiar that can beat Isaac up. Might be a different game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you guys want to do within this game?
I can't think of anything.
I really can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah. Okay. So we will end it thereabouts with, yeah, y'all got Kay back to the circus. Now she has a new dress, and Cal has started looking into ways to deal with Isaac if he shows up again. Thanks for playing, y'all.
It's always a pleasure.
That it
It's been
is.
fun.
Yay! I'm glad you had fun. When y'all started talking about beating Isaac up, and I was like, oh, you don't even know. You don't even know I'm planning to. You'll get your chance to beat Isaac up in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising, admittedly.
Mm.
But we fun trying to figure out things for another game. It's like, how many loopholes through do we need to get before Kay is permitted to actually do harm onto Isaac?
That is a question indeed. Alright. If that's all, I'm going to end the recording and ping you to end the recording. So if you want to say goodbye to anyone listening to the recording.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening.